I'm now going to show you how I forge a raven skull pendant. I have a 12 by 12 millimeter in fire, and I will show you step by step how I make these. And the first thing I'm gonna do here is I don't know what it is called in English, but bird's not nose and not mouth, but you will get the idea. I will only need maybe 1 centimeter on top, and I make a offset shoulder. About half its thickness. A little bit thicker than half. I want this to be 4 centimeters. I'm gonna forge it to a specific size, and it's already too long, so I will cut it off, but I also want it thinner, so I will first get it into the right shape and then cut it off to length. I noticed that I didn't get the shoulder in line, the two of them, so I will, and that's important, so I will need to fix that as well. But focus on one thing at a time. Something like that. Let's see if I do like this. I can push it a little bit. Doesn't take much. This looks better. But we can see. We'll continue, take a couple of more like this. Now it looks good. See if I get a little bit more. Also in center, yes, that looks good. I'm gonna cut it off to the right length and also do some final shaping. So I take 4 centimeters from this and a little bit shorter because when I do the final shape, it will get a little bit long. See here, 4 centimeters right there. I also want this to be square. Everything to follow the line. Like so. This looks good. So I'm gonna hold like this, and then I'm gonna hit. I could also place it on the anvil and hit like this. It might be more precise. About 45 degrees angle. Nothing. Yeah, approximately. So just taking that corner out. That will also be the forehead of the bird. I'm gonna isolate the head. So I'm again gonna do a half on, half off blows, shoulder. And the total length of the head will be 2 centimeters. So I'm gonna measure again, and 2 centimeters right there. Let's see, now we shall get it the right way. Go like this. This part will be cut off, so it doesn't matter. I just want it to be long enough so I can put this in the leg vise. So the reason I made the head, isolated it, is because when I fasten it in the leg vise, this shoulder will help a lot. So I will keep it like this, and I will forge a bit more on that one. Then it's time to just straighten everything up and put it in the vise and start shaping the eyes. So let's see how to like this. Yeah, looks good. I'm just gonna straighten everything up, and I'm also gonna mark where I want the eyes. Like so. And if we take a look here, we can see that we got 2 areas on each side of this. Let's call it the bird's nose. So I wanted the eyes to be in the middle of the area here, and as close to the nose as possible. So I will put 2 punch marks there, and then I will move over to the vise and use a different punch. See, and here I can hold it like this. I want it to be symmetrical. And that looks good. Could of course do this in the vise. Yeah, that looks good. So I got a couple of different punches here, going from small, different radius here, and small, larger, and then the final shape. I also got some bonus just in case I need to move the material a bit differently, but I'm gonna start with the small one and then go larger and larger. Doing it in the vise like this, and in the punch. And I used to work on these parallel, so I forge once or on both sides at the same time. And I hold my punch a little bit so it goes inwards to its brain. The beak. That you will notice that when you hit on one side of on one eye, it will push the material to the other side. So just to keep it straight, I used to make it parallel, but still going with the small one. Just so I almost got the right depth that I want. Looks good. One thing to keep in mind when you're heating is that this nose here is much thinner than the head, so it can easily get burned when you're heating. So I moved to the next punch. Now I'm simply punching so I get to the same depth. This seat I will straighten it up a bit. Like this. And then I'm moving to the fourth or third punch, which is close to the final. I used to make the eyes about, let's see here. I used to make the eyes about 7 millimeters in diameter, and it's almost there. So I am gonna continue with this a little bit more and maybe push it out to the sides by changing the angle of the punch. Also look that it is symmetrical in line here. Noticed that it wasn't really in line, so I will wrap like that, and then I continue with the punch. I'll see if we how it looks like. Now it looks better. I'm gonna do the take a measure here and see if we shall do the final. Yeah, final shaping. You can see that this one is a little bit smaller, so I will change the angle at punch. Go a little bit down on that one. So here it is up to the artist to just shape as you want it to. But it looks good. Let's see if we look at it this way. Yeah, looks good. I have a corner here that I didn't like, this one, so I will take the file and remove material. That looks better. It's probably the thing that we didn't get it even at the first heat when we did the shoulders here. So that is really important to get, otherwise you will have to be fighting it for the whole project. But it's good that it can be solved. Yeah, I like it. Now we got it like this. So next is to make this the actual nose, the holes for the nose. And for that I have a teardrop shaped punch, which I'm gonna use, and first gonna do some markings, measuring one. I want the nose to start 1 centimeter from the eye, so I'm gonna measure that. I'm gonna do this on the anvil. It would probably be a good idea to have something to hold, so you could place this, so you would have on the both sides something that that holds against it, because when I punch here, it will deform the other side, so I will have to go back and forth in order to get it symmetrical, and it is a bit tricky, but one option would be, of course, to put it in the vise, but I don't like that because all the force, it can't take that much force, so when I hit, it will get, the energy won't be where I want it to, so therefore I'm gonna make it on the, or do it on the anvil, but yeah, you will see what I mean. But if you're going to make one of these, you might consider making a special tool for this step. Right, so I'm gonna make the mark first where I want where I shall start the punch, and I will take approximately 1 centimeter and right in the middle here, like so, and then again symmetrical, or somewhat. Nature isn't symmetrical, so it don't have to be 100%, but I like it to at least have somewhat symmetrical. Like this, and I'm gonna hold it the right way, and looks good. And I don't want to do this step too many times, because since I'm moving the material back and forward with every punch, it might cause some cracks, because it is one spot that the material is very thin. So I can't go over too many times. What I can do in order to minimize the energy going right to the other side, I can hold it to the opposite direction. That might help a little, but I'm gonna take a bit more, making it straight, and I don't know if you can see, but this is now deformed, so I'm gonna have to, I'm happy with the depth of it, so I'm just gonna do the final shapings, and then I'm happy. Some light taps, and we are getting there. I'm just gonna get the nose straight. So let's see here. Yeah, that looks good. Very good. So now I'm gonna round the shoulder that we kept for the leg vise. We don't need that sharp corner anymore, so I will knock it down and shape the skull. This will also, I can do it like this. Careful so I don't shape the eyes too much. But something like that. Yeah, that was perfect. So, now I'm just gonna make it straight. Or a little bit bent. Might have to go back again and reshape it, but I want a, so it goes a little bit downwards. Perfect. I will attach a ring to this, so in order to do so I will have to forge and make room for a hole where I can attach the ring. So I will use a guillotine tool here to get maximum precision. And yeah, it's a bit difficult to explain, but it's better that I show it instead. So I'm first gonna use dies that are shaped like this. Now I have to think so I get it the right way. Yeah, that is correct. I will put it like this. Just so I don't deform the rest of the head too much, I will pull it down, then place it like this. And then I go. And it looks good, so I continue. It's good. Peeling it down again. I'm gonna save a little bit of material, won't go too thin, but as you might see, I got it like this, but now I want this part to be flat. So I'm gonna, now it looks like this with these dies, but I want this part to be flat, so I'm gonna change to flat dies. this. I can cool it down a bit again, and then I hold in the same way and right there. You can see it does bend, but so that's why we cool it down so this stays in the shape as we want it to. But I want this a little bit thinner, so I'm gonna continue. I also gonna forge it from the other side, so I'm not only forging from one side. Turning it like this. And I can go relatively thin here. That's maybe 3 or 4 millimeters, and I'm happy with that. But I will leave it like this. Now I'm just gonna draw it out here so I can get to work more easily there. So like this. I'll straighten it at the same time. Need some heat. Have to fix that later. So now I'm gonna punch the hole for the ring, and I'm gonna need or use a 3 millimeters thick wire for the ring, so the hole needs to be at least 3 millimeter. In other words, a small punch when it comes to blacksmithing, but so I got my punch and I'm placing it as close as possible to the head. We need to make it a little bit bigger. Oh, it's enough. And go clean it up with this one. Like so. Perfect. Now I'm finished with the head, and so I'm gonna cut it off from the bar and maybe do some filing. It's a bit sharp corner there. Yeah, do the final final shape. So I cut it off from the bar, and then I'm gonna forge the ring. There we go. It looks straight, but I think I have to. Let's see if the. Oh, it straightened itself. Perfect. So yeah, now we have our head, and then I'm gonna forge the ring. So I'm tapering both ends. A little bit too cold. Looks good. Or simply gonna bend it into 16 millimeters. Or this is a 16 millimeters round bar that I'm using. Like this. I'm gonna need another pair of tongs. Scrolling tongs. And now it's also the time to attach it to the skull. Normally I do the final shaping and filing before I attach the ring, but I thought I would do it now just so you can see when I do it. Then I gonna shut off the camera and do the shaping and show you the final results. Like this. if it has a name, the way I close the ring here, but I really like, it's a quite common way when you look at Viking jewelry, for instance. They use this way to close the rings. So you don't have to forge weld or solder or anything. It also, yeah, it's decorative and closes the rings. There we have it. Right, so I will do the final shaping and then show you the end result, a close-up.